Namaste. Welcome to Kaivalya Yoga Gurukulam, KYG, as we all know it. Let us begin the session with one Om and then offer our salutations to our Guru and invoke the Ganesha from the Muladhara. Om. Let us offer our reverential salutations to the Divine Sadguru. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Let us invoke the Ganesha from the Muladhara. Om Ganganapataye Namaha. Let's begin by reviewing the 22 verses of the Shivopasana mantra that we have learnt so far. Nidhanapataye Namaha. Each line twice. Nidhanapataye Namaha. We chant it together, so please join along. Nidhanapatantikaya Namaha. Nidhanapatantikaya Namaha. After ya, let us not pause, let us continue naturally. Urdhvaya Namaha. Again. Urdhvaya Namaha. Next. Urdhvalingaya Namaha. Urdhvalingaya Namaha. Next. Hiranyaya Namaha. Again. Hiranyaya Namaha. Next. Hiranyalingaya Namaha. Hiranyalingaya Namaha. Next. Suvarnaya Namaha. Again. Suvarnaya Namaha. Next. Suvarnalingaya Namaha. Suvarnalingaya Namaha. Next. Divyaya Namaha. Again. Divyaya Namaha. Next. Divyalingaya Namaha. Divyalingaya Namaha. Next. Bhavaya Namaha. Again. Bhavaya Namaha. Next. Bhavalingaya Namaha. Again. Bhavalingaya Namaha. Next. Sharvaya Namaha. Again. Sharvaya Namaha. Next. Sharvalingaya Namaha. Again. Sharvalingaya Namaha. Next. Shivaya Namaha. Again. Shivaya Namaha. Next. Shivalingaya Namaha. Again. Shivalingaya Namaha. Next. Jvalaya Namaha. Again. Jvalaya Namaha. Next. Jvalalingaya Namaha. Again. Jvalalingaya Namaha. Next. Atmaya Namaha. Again. Atmaya Namaha. Next. Atmalingaya Namaha. Again. Atmalingaya Namaha. Next. Paramaya Namaha. Again. Paramaya Namaha. Next line. Paramalingaya Namaha. Again. Paramalingaya namaha. Excellent. So these are all the 22 verses that we studied. Now, today we'll do the 23rd and hopefully the 24th as well. These are two longer verses. And then 25th to 35th it becomes easier. And then the last three verses are a little more longer. So this verse goes like this. Please just listen and we'll take it part by part. Etat somasya suryasya sarvalingaggasthapayati pani mantram pavitram. Let us examine this, understand this and learn how to chant it. Whenever you see longer Vedic verses being chanted, don't get intimidated by the length of the verse. Break it into smaller pieces, learn bits, and then it's easily joined. So let's take the first two words. Etat somasya suryasya. Etat means now. Now that I have chanted all this, now at this moment that I am holding this linga in my hand or in my consciousness or in the altar. Etat, now. Somasya suryasya, the moon and the sun. Soma means moon, Surya means the sun. So this is a reference to the sun and the moon that we see around the planet Earth. But there is a greater inner reference to the Ida and the Pingala nadis in us. So when these two cross together, each of those places become an altar for the Lingam to be established. When they cross, then these are two nadis. The Ida is the left, the Pingala represents the right side of the body. And they cross at 6 different places, the 6 centers of consciousness, the 6 chakras as we know it. They cross there each. So when they cross, that place becomes, it's like the, like the 4-road crossing in the traffic. So imagine if there was nobody to control there, no traffic man to control there, no traffic lights to control there. It can create havoc, right? So that is why the focus is always on these 6 centers where these nadis cross each other. The Ida and the Pingala cross each other. So it becomes an important point. So any of these 6 centers of consciousness you can meditate as you place this linga. So these are things you can develop on your own. Or if you find these things too complicated, just hold it in the center of your eye or hold it in your heart. The heart is, for this particular thing, it comes to the heart chakra, and I'll explain to that as we come to that particular line. So it's nice to hold the linga, the concept of the linga, the consciousness of the linga, the image of the linga, the symbolism of the linga in your heart as you install it, because we are installing this linga in this particular beautiful verse. So we say, Etat somasya suryasya, as the sun and the moon, bringing together the sun and the moon into the linga. That means we are focusing on a particular center of consciousness, and in this particular case, the heart. And I'll tell you why. So that is how the meaning of these 2 words are. How is it chanted? Please listen. Etat somasya. So it's straight, and this time it goes up. Etat somasya. Let's chant it together twice. Etat somasya. Again. Etat somasya. Wonderful. Suryasya. Su is long here. Suryasya. Yasya is lower than sur. Let's chant it together. Suryasya. Again. Suryasya. Together, both these words. Etat somasya suryasya. Again. Etat somasya suryasya. There is a beauty in this chant, right? After somasya, immediately switch to suryasya. So listen again how beautifully it flows. Etat somasya suryasya. Let's do it again, twice. Etat somasya suryasya. Again. Etat somasya suryasya. Beautiful. Then comes the next line. Sarva Gasthapayati. Sarva, the 3 words are there. Sarva, Lingam, sthapayati. Sarvam means all. This all will have a reference in the next line. All of this, pavitram, it will come. Pavitra means purifying. So all gets purified. The one who's holding the lingam, the place where the lingam is being established, the lingam itself, everything becomes pure. So that sarva here is reference to the next word that follows in the word that follows these two words, right? So don't apply the logic of English phrases and English language to Sanskrit and say, why doesn't the purify come after all us purified? It doesn't work like that. It's a different language. And more on top of that, it's a poetry language. So the words are muddled up so that there's a beauty of the poetry kept. Anyway, so sarva, all. Lingam. Lingam is the symbolic Shivalinga that we are meditating upon, that we are holding in our hand or in the altar or in the mind's eye. In this case, the heart chakra. Because the question will come, where do I meditate? What is the ideal way to meditate for Shivopasana? This is a pasana with a lot of bhakti in it. So the heart chakra. And why the heart chakra is explained in the next line. It's very subtly, the way I have understood and the way I practice it. So I'll share that with you. It's up to you to take it or leave it. And these are all matter of perspectives. So, now sarva lingam sthapayati. Sthapayati means installation. Installation, install means sthapayati means come establish yourself. Once and for all, it's established. That's it. That is the beauty of that, right? So sthapayati. Now in some of the sandhi rules that goes in Veda, in Vedic chanting, one of them is this. Lingam. When M or N, or in some other chants you will come across the N that ends here. In this case it's lingam. If that M or N is followed by sa, sha and so on, then the becomes gg, g, lingag, it becomes like that, because it is followed by a sa in this particular case. So it could be sa, sha, sha, all of that. So that could, now on top of that, why it becomes gag is tha, the sa that follows is not a complete consonant. If you notice there, the sa is cut off by another tha. So stha it is becoming. So especially when it becomes a half consonant or a semi-consonant, then the ga, lingam, becomes lingag. Okay? So there are rules like these. And there are exceptions to these rules. That's where it becomes complicated. But anyway, that gag is just a sandhi, it's a rule applied, because lingam is joined by a semi-consonant. Remember that. That's why it becomes lingag. Okay? Sarvalingaghas thapayati. Listen again. Sarvalingaghas. Just ghas. Just a little bit of that touch. Sarvalingaghas thapayati. Not sthapayati, sthapayati. Sthapayati. There has to be an energy there that establishes there. Sarvalingaghas thapayati. Okay? Alright, let's chant it together. Twice. Together, both the words. Sarvalingaghas thapayati. Again. Sarvalingaghas thapayati. Again. Sarvalingaghas thapayati. One more time. Sarvalingaghas thapayati. One more time. Sarvalingaghas thapayati. Excellent. Okay. So what was the last one? Let's chant it together. Etat somasya suryasya. Again. Etat somasya suryasya. This one. Sarvalingaghas thapayati. Again. Sarvalingaghas thapayati. Wonderful. Now, the third line. Pani mantram pavitram. Pani mantram pavitram. Three words again here, very simple. Pani here refers to anything that is holding it. The capacity to hold. A shop can be called pani because a shop contains a lot of items in it, right? So in this case, Pani is referred to as the hand. Pani, which I am holding in my hand. So whenever there's a reference to Pani, the capacity to hold, it refers to your heart, because which is the organ in your body that can hold? Your feet cannot hold. It can touch things, but it can't hold. The fingers and the palm of your hand is something that can actually hold something, right? That is why hands are used as a reference to holding. Now, hands and fingers that help you hold, fingers are connected to the Vayu element. And Vayu element is in the heart region. And therefore, when I read Pani Mantram, my mind automatically goes to the heart, right? All the 5 elements are in the 5 chakras. The 4th element is the Vayu element, which is in the region of the lungs, in the heart, and that is connected to the fingers. Vayu is connected to movement of fingers. So fingers and Vayu are connected. And therefore, the moment it says Pani, the ability to hold, grasp, then there is a reference, I feel and I believe, and that's how I imagine this. There is a reference to the heart chakra, and therefore the heart is where you establish this Lingam. It also falls in place beautifully in our visualization, and therefore you're welcome, if you like and tune into this kind of a concept, to use it. So Pani, hands, or a place wherever it's holding. Mantram. Mantram is all the 22 verses that we chanted, right? With the help of all those 22 verses, and in this meeting place of the sun and the moon, I am establishing this Lingam, which renders everything pure. Sarvam, that Sarvam which we read in the last line, comes here, Pavitram. Because all of this is part of one verse, okay? They're not different verses, right? Pani Mantram Pavitram. Pavitram means purifies. So, how is it chanted? Listen to this. Pani Mantram, Pani Mantram, Pavitram, Pavitram. Let's take one word at a time. The first word. Let's chant it together. Pani Mantram. Let's chant it twice. Together. Pani Mantram. Again. Pani Mantram. Wonderful. The next line. Pavitram. Let's chant it together twice. Pavitram. 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 Both the words together. Pani Mantram Pavitram. 2 more times. Let's do it together. Pani Mantram Pavitram. Again. Pani Mantram Pavitram. Wonderful. Excellent. So now let's be bold and let's try this the whole verse together. Twice, thrice, let's try that. Together. Etat somasya suryasya sarvalingaggasthapayati pani mantram pavitram. Wonderful. 2 more times. Etat somasya suryasya sarvalingaggasthapayati pani mantram pavitram. Once more. Etat somasya suryasya sarvalingaggasthapayati pani mantram pavitram. So far, what we have done is we visualize the Lingam and begin to ascribe the qualities, and Lingam became more and more empowered. And then finally we established the Lingam in the cave of our heart with this beautiful mantra. Installation happens. And now after installation, we worship the Shiva consciousness. We worship the 5 faces of Shiva, if you will, the 5 aspects of Shiva. Beginning with this verse. In Nepal, there is a temple which has the 5 faces of Shiva. 4 facing the 4 directions and the 5th one facing up. So let us explore what are these 5 faces of Shiva. We start with the first phase, Sadhyo Jatam. And that is this verse. So what is this verse? Sadhyo Jatam Prapadhyami Sadhyo Jataya Vai Namo Namaha. The verse, this is half of the verse. So let us learn this first and then proceed. It's a beautiful thing. Now we are looking at the Lingam, right? Imagine this in your meditation, how powerful this is. You have established it. Now each aspect of the Lingam you're looking at. You're looking at the western side of the Lingam. So let us explore this and study this verse. Listen to this. Sadhyo Jatam Prapadhyami. Not me, it is short me. Sadhyo Jatam Prapadhyami. Okay? What does it mean? Sadhyo Jatam Prapadhyami. Prapadhyami is I take refuge. So that's a simpler word. Not maybe to pronounce, but to understand. Prapadhyami. Sadhyo Jata. To the Sadhyo Jata, I take refuge in the Sadhyo Jata. Sadhyo Jata. Sadhya and Jata is, Sadhya means new, Jata is born, newly born. Newly born means, remember the Sharva that we talked about, that Bhava, that is ended. Now there is a new birth taking place in your consciousness of the Shiva. So Sadhyo Jata reminds you of this, he reminds you of this newly born, the firstborn, the newly born. Right? Sadhyo Jata. So that is the beauty of this sentence. Okay, it is ascribed to the western face of Shiva. All this is for us to understand and tune into this divine concept. So listen to it one more time and we'll chant it twice. Sadhyo Jatam Prapadhyami. Sadhyo Jatam Prapadhyami. Okay, we'll take one word at a time. Sadhyo Jatam. This is simple. Let's chant it together twice. Sadhyo Jatam. Sadhyo Jatam. Once more. Sadhyo Jatam. Good. Prapadhyami. Prapadhyami. The pra is up, dhyami is down. Prapadhyami. So there are three stages in the chant here. Let's chant it together. Prapadhyami. Two more times. Prapadhyami. Once more. Prapadhyami. Just throw that voice out there. Prapadhyami. Good. Let's chant it together. Listen to it once. Sadhyo Jatam Prapadhyami. Let's chant it together. Sadhyo Jatam Prapadhyami. Again. Sadhyo Jatam Prapadhyami. Wonderful. Then, this is easy. Now that you understood, or rather beginning to understand the meaning of Sadhyo Jata, the same thing is coming. I offer salutations again and again. Namo Namaha. Namo Namaha is again and again I offer salutations. Namaha. To whom? Sadhyo Jata. To this divine newly born who's taking me to that state of consciousness where there is a new birth taking place. Sadhyo Jataya. So Sadhyo Jataya Vai Namo Namaha. Sadhyo Jataya Vai Namo Namaha. The first word. Sadhyo Jataya. Sadhyo Jataya. Let's chant it together twice. Sadhyo Jataya. Sadhyo Jataya. Wonderful. Vai Namo Namaha. Twice. Vai Namo Namaha. Again. Vai Namo Namaha. So here the Namaha, the Ma is going up. Okay. So here it is okay. Not in the previous ones. Alright. So let's chant it together, the whole line. Twice. Or maybe three times. Sadhyo Jataya Vai Namo Namaha. Again. Sadhyo Jataya Vai Namo Namaha. Just one more time. Sadyo Jataya Vai Namo Namaha. Beautiful. The next one is Bhava. That newly born we are talking about, right? That why is that newborn coming? Because the Bhava, the present cycle, is ending. We have asked him to end it, right? Sharvaya Namaha. So that Sharva Lingaya Namaha. That Bhava is suppressed, is being dissolved by Shiva consciousness. And therefore we are saying this Sadyo Jata Bhave Bhave Nati Bhave. In other words, this bhava that is repeating itself again and again, take me ati bhave, take me beyond that. Ati bhava, take me beyond that into a new cycle, into a new birth along with you. What is that new birth? Sadyo Jata is a new birth. That means the consciousness now reaches that of Shiva. Bhave bhave nati bhave bhavasvamam. Bhave Bhave, Bhave, Bhave. Let's chant it together. Bhave, 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 Bhave. One more time. Bhave, Bhave. Next line. Nati Bhave. Listen to it. Nati Bhave. Together. Nati Bhave. Again. Nati Bhave. This bha like in Bhavaya Namaha. Somebody had made a comment in the last class as well on YouTube. So it's a response. That is Mahaprana. So bha can come, but don't make it a udata where it is not necessarily meant to be. Don't overstress it. Just create that energy bha. Bring in some pranic element into that. So how does that line go? Bhave Bhave Nati Bhave. Bhave Bhave Nati Bhave. Think of it as learning a simple tune that has only 3 notes. Okay, don't get too tight and too excited and too confused. La 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 la. That's how it goes. Bhave Bhave Nati Bhave. Let's chant it one more time together. Bhave Bhave Nati Bhave. The next line is Bhavasvamam. 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 Together. Bhavasvamam. Again. Bhavasvamam. Excellent. Let's chant this whole line. Listen to it once and then we'll chant it together 2 or 3 times. Bhave Bhave Nati Bhave Bhavasvamam. Together. Bhave Bhave Nati Bhave Bhavasvamam. Again. Bhave Bhave Nati Bhave Bhavasvamam. One more time. Bhave Bhave Nati Bhave Bhavasvamam. If a particular line becomes difficult for you, and it can be difficult for you and not difficult for somebody else, then keep on repeating that line playfully in your mind, and then it will settle. Sleep over it. Next day morning it will be there right in front of you, clear. The last line in this verse is Bhavodbhavaya Namaha. Bhavod Udbhavaya. From this bhava, take me to the next bhava, new birth. That is why that there was a reference to Sadyojata and Bhava. Bhava and Sadyojata are combined. Sadyojata represents new birth. So we are telling Shiva and meditating on the concept of let this bhava end, and from this bhava let that eternal cycle begin. That cycle which is not this present cycle, not another cycle of birth and death, but the divine eternal moment actually. That is the eternal moment that we are looking for, not the present cycle. And that comes out of this bhava. When this bhava dissolves, that arises. Bhava Udbhava. Udbhava is that which rises. Right? So, Bhavodbhavaya Namaha. Bhavod Bhavaya. Udbhavaya. They are joined together. So, once again listen. Bhavodbhavaya Namaha. Let's chant it together. Bhavodbhavaya namaha. Again. Bhavodbhavaya namaha. Namaha. Wherever you see red, go up. Bhavodbhavaya namaha. Again. Bhavodbhavaya namaha. Beautiful. So, let's just chant this together. If you can, otherwise listen. Sadhyo. Okay, here it is. Sadhyo jatam prapadhyami. Sadhyo jatam prapadhyami. Sadhyo jataya vai namo namaha. Sadhyo jataya vai namo namaha. Bhave bhave nati bhave bhavasvamam. Bhave bhave nati bhave bhavasvamam. Bhavodbhavaya namaha. Bhavodbhavaya namaha. So today we have established the Linga and meditated on the western face of Shiva, that side which reminds us of a new birth into the Shiva consciousness. How beautiful and powerful is that? So keep that in your mind, in your meditations and in your prayers today. And we will continue this learning as we go along. Thank you for watching. Let's end this class with one Om and three Shantis. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.